So first of all, you just walk us through the emotions at the end of it. How many times did all your heart skip beats at the end?
I would say it was end of all the quarters we played, plus the overtime. But I think we played with such passion, and those two. I mean, oh man, if we do this every game, we have a bright future. And this team was, it was hard. They were pressing us a lot, and I think we came out good.
Yeah, the game wasn't perfect. Of course, we had some slip-ups offensively and defensively. But, we like she said, we play with passion. And, if you play with that kind of energy, good things will happen. So the passion was there. The energy was there. Each and every one of us brought it to the table and, came out with the win.
And what would you sort of attribute the sort of being up 12 points and them coming back? Was it because you had a pretty substantial advantage at that point, or did they kind of come alive, sort of?
I think we came out a little sloppy, and we lost a lot of offensive rebounds for them, and they scored off of that. So I think we kind of, got off charts, but then I think we bounced back really quick.
Yeah, I think we just didn't do our job. We didn't play the way we do. So
even just coming out with the same energy we did in the first quarter, that's been our problem the past two games, is the energy in the third quarter. So we'll work on that. Yeah.
Did you all feel pretty in tune, though? It seemed like you were all just, when you were all being playmakers and sort of sharing the ball throughout the first 3.5 quarters, was that different than the last two games? Or was that probably the best that you played so far this season?
Well, I think this is a process that we're building right here. We've been working on since coaches got here, and I think it's going to get better every game. That's just the way it is. And I think just because it's all brand new to us, we're not perfect in it, but I think we've made a huge progress since the last two games.
And I know you played them last year, and this is sort of the same exact team, right? They are almost like the same starters, right? What sort of differences or similarities did you see on them? Did that game last year help you sort of exploit some of their weaknesses?
Well, we have a different team this year, so and we knew that their bigs were going to come on strong in this game, so we knew we had to box out, of course. But we really didn't pay much attention to them, just like about us getting better from last game. That was their big emphasis. Sharing the ball, getting rebounds, playing really good defense. We kind of worked on our game more than them, but we did focus on just getting rebounds and just boxing them out as much as we can. Getting on their shooter 33. I didn't think she scored that much this game. She only made one 3-pointer? Yeah, she took one 3-pointer. So we did a really good job of covering her, and we kind of emphasized that in practice, and we did a good job tonight. So.
It seemed like that number 3, Heidi, I think you pronounced her name. She seemed to be getting sort of fortunate with some of her roles. You seem to be boxing her up pretty well. She was just a pretty good scorer. Is that what you saw out there?
Yeah. She's a good guard. She was handling the ball well, but our defense came into. We really got a hand on her, boxed out. This girl right here, her rebounds is amazing. It's really key to the game. So
19 rebounds.
Is that crazy?
That's got to be a career high.
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure.
Don't be shy.
She's being too modest right now.
Pretty sure.
How were you able to make your presence felt down there? Were you just kind of bullying them around, or were you just on it? Or can you walk us through it?
Well, I think the offensive rebounds come from us taking great shots and not taking early shots where there's nobody on the rebound. And defensively, I think everyone did a very good job on boxing out. So ultimately, it just came down to me going to get the ball.
And Bobby, I know you sort of 4 clutch free throws down the stretch in both overtimes, or especially in the second overtime. Was that sort of what you were strategizing to do when they were coming up trying to hedge and you just sort of kind of run into them?
I mean, we sure wanted to get her the big post out of the game, so I think she ended up with 5 fouls. And we just wanted to be aggressive and, the 8 item that they called fouls.
When you're at the line in those kind of situations, is there anything that you do to sort of block out all the noise in your own head?
I mean, I just know I have to make it, and it was, it was tight game, so.
And Maria, that the end of the first overtime, that sort of that whole kind of fiasco thing that happened, and then you kind of hitting the ground and getting it. What was sort of drawn up in that situation, and how did it change, and what kind of openings did you see to sort of flip that in and tie it up and send it to double overtime?
Well, at the end of the first overtime, we had a play draw, but then I think they tipped the ball, right? So we had to just figure something out of it. It wasn't anything specific at that point, but Lynn just drove to the basket and made a good assist. It wasn't.
It was a little messed up.
Well, they got a
but
they got a deflection.
Yeah.
And then Bobby had a great save.
It was just making something out of nothing,
Okay. And when everybody's scoring, how much freer do you feel like you can play? Like when some people slow down, then Sweetland just hits 3 3-pointers in a row. Is that a difference at all in this year?
That's the good thing about the system, the offense that we're running. It's just everyone is gonna play to their strengths, and it's kind of like a free-flowing offense. So like it's meant for you to be a basketball player and make basketball plays. It's not robotic, so it's kind of like a read and react kind of offense, and that's just amazing. And we're just gonna keep getting better at executing it in practice, and just keep looking sharper every game. So.
I'm guessing sort of finding your shot and keep moving the ball.
Yeah, for sure. Moving the ball, moved it better than last game and the game before that. So each and every game we're getting better at just moving the ball around. Yeah.
I know you were all able to sort of put together a rally at the end of the St. Mary's game last time out. Do you feel like this is sort of some strides made toward the end of that game, kind of continuing throughout this one?
Well, I think after St. Mary's game, we came together as a team and we just decided like there's enough is enough and we have to pick it up. And it was a great start at the end of St. Mary's game, but we can definitely play way better than that, and we showed that today.